Welcome to 5 Fresh Tips, a podcast from Fresh Starts Registry. Our Fresh Starts experts are here to help you with everything you need to begin again, starting with 5 simple fresh tips. Are you ready? Let's do this.
I'm Oona Metz. I'm a therapist who leads divorce support groups, a writer, and a Fresh Starts expert. And I'm here today with 5 fresh tips to help you tell your kids you're getting divorced in a way that supports you and them. So before we get into the tips, I just want to say that this task is one of the most difficult in any divorce, as it means sharing some of the most heartbreaking news you can ever give your children. Every parent dreads this conversation. We're all programmed to nurture and protect our kids, so this step might feel like it goes against your parental instincts. And yet, being a parent also means being honest and responsible. This includes letting your kids know about changes to your family's life. What's more, you're your children's most important role model. When you share this sad news, you have an opportunity to model both vulnerability and resilience. It's important to communicate a balance of this is a sad time and we're going to get through this. Ideally, you and your spouse can sit down together and develop a script for this conversation. Not a script that you read, but an agreed upon set of statements. If you have an unwilling or absent partner, or a partner who can't be relied on, you'll have to tell the children yourself. While this is not ideal, it is sometimes the reality. Hearing the news from one thoughtful, rational parent is better than hearing it from 2 people who can't agree on what to say or who end up saying hurtful things to each other or their kids. You may feel pressure to get it right or say it all during this first conversation. And it is important to be thoughtful about how you share the news. But keep in mind that you will be talking to your kids many times over many years about the divorce. For this initial conversation, less is more. Because this is your kid's first time hearing the news, and because you will likely be in an emotional place, it's best to keep the conversation on the shorter side. You can always add more details later. So let's get started with the 5 tips. My first tip is to start with the fact that you've decided to separate or live in separate homes. This can be as simple as one sentence. It's best to say, "We have decided," even if only one of you initiated the decision. Starting with the word separation instead of divorce allows for the possibility that you'll reconcile. And even if you're 100% sure you're going to divorce, separation is a softer way of introducing the concept of divorce to your kids. Tip number 2, be vague about why you're separating or getting a divorce. Kids do not need to know the intimate details about why you're separating. And in fact, knowing those details could be hard on them, but they do need a reason. We haven't been getting along, or we're no longer making each other happy, are good options to help simplify a complicated situation. Tip number 3, let your kids know that you have tried to make things better. This is important as you want your kids to know that you've tried. It also sends the message that when your children face hard things in their lives, they should also do their best to make them better. Tip number 4, offer reassurance about what will and will not change in your child's life. Make sure to emphasize that one thing that will not change is your love for them. If you know other things that will or will not change, like where they live, where they go to school, what their schedule will be, mention those as well at this point. And tip number 5, finish up the conversation by normalizing your child's feelings and inviting them to talk to you at any time. This is crucial. Just as your feelings about the divorce will shift over time, so will theirs. It's important that they know they can come to you with all of their feelings at any time. I hope these 5 fresh tips help you tell your kids you're getting divorced in a way that supports you and them. Remember, You can always find me at Fresh Starts Registry in the Expert Guide. I'm Oona Metz, and never forget, we're proud of you.
Thank you for listening to 5 Fresh Tips, a podcast from Fresh Starts Registry. To browse the expert resource guide and build your hype team today, head to freshstartsregistry.com/experts. And remember, we are always so proud of you. Keep up the amazing work.